Hey guys, it's Shannon. I have a really cute farmhouse style pillow for you today, and I'm going to be showing you how to create it using drop cloth. So let's get started. Alright, so let me give you a look at the supplies I'll be using for this project, and of course you are going to need some drop cloth. This is pre-bleached and pre-washed, and I have a whole tutorial on how to do that if you'd like to replicate this. But you could also use some muslin fabric or whatever fabric you have on hand. You could even use a hand towel, so just get creative with it. I will be using the drop cloth today. I also have a pair of sharp scissors, some measuring tape. I have some black fabric paint and a foam paintbrush. I will be doing a no-sew method today. I just don't enjoy sewing. So if you like to sew, of course, go ahead and sew this up. It would be a really simple, easy thing to do, but this is just my preferred method today. I'm also going to be using this stencil, which is made out of contact paper, and I will get to how I created this in this tutorial and also give you some other options here in just a little bit. And then this is a cheapy pillow from Walmart. It was like $2 and some change, and I'm going to be using the stuffing from the inside to stuff my pillow with. So that's a great tip to save you some money too. So let's get started with the project. Alright, so here is a look at my drop cloth cut down. I cut mine to 10 inches tall by 17 inches wide, and this is just a smaller accent pillow for my entryway. So of course you could make this bigger if you wanted. It'd be really cute, extra large on a couch or a sectional. But I did cut it to where I folded it in half so that we don't have an extra side to hem up. So that'll save us a little extra time. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my hemming tape here and iron it on. We're going to do this whole top, this whole side, and part of the bottom. I don't want the whole bottom done because we're going to have to stuff this here in a little bit. So let's get started with just closing up our edges. Here is a close-up look of what I've done here. I've run the hemming tape all the way around, except I left a little hole here at the bottom. And what you have to do now is once you have this ironed on, it's got a paper backing on it that you peel off. And then we're gonna fold our fabric back over on top and iron over it, and that will bond the fabric together. Alright, so a tip for using the hemming tape is to use a lot of pressure so that adhesive gets into the fibers of the fabric. So if you use a lot of pressure on your iron, that helps a lot. And you also want to make sure to let it cool down before you go to flip it inside out. So this is that little hole that I left on the bottom. And I'm just going to flip our pillow inside out and then measure for the size I want the stencil to be. All right, I thought it best to just bring you right into my Silhouette Studio program here where I'm creating the stencil. And I use a Silhouette Cameo to make my stencils and decals. And for the stencil material, I'm using a contact paper from Walmart by Magic Cover brand. And it's really, really inexpensive. It's only about $2 for this roll. And you get quite a bit. And what I did is I just cut off a section that was 13 inches wide. A Silhouette Cameo only cuts up to 12 inches wide, but you can put wider material in it. So I like doing that when I make stencils because that gives me a bigger border to paint on. And then you don't get right up next to the edge. So that's a good tip. And then within my Silhouette Studio program here, I've used the font The Skinny, which is that great Rae Dunn inspired font. And of course you can make yours say whatever you want. Mine says Our Nest. And I made mine 4 inches tall by 8 inches wide. And again, make yours however big your project is. If you have a bigger pillow, you can make it bigger. And then I also wanted to show you over here in the cut settings what I cut the stencil material on for my silhouette. So I use a ratchet blade. I do not use the auto blade that came with it. I just don't like it. And then I also set my blade on 3, my speed on 10, and my force on 3 for this material. And then all I have to do is come over here once my material is fed into my silhouette and hit this send button right here. And then it goes right over here and starts cutting. And yes, it's really loud and really obnoxious, so this kind of helps a little bit. But once that is done cutting, I will show you what we're going to do after that. All right, so here is a look at the stencil, completely weeded and cut down so it will fit nicely on the pillow. And if you do not have a vinyl cutter, you could also use a fabric marker and just freehand your lettering or your design. Or you can also head over to my Etsy shop, which is crossmyheart.com, and I will have this specific size available for purchase if you want to recreate this project. And I'll also link that down below so you can check that out. But now we're going to move on to adding the stencil to the pillow and painting it. So I just have a piece of paper here that I cut down to size, and I'm going to insert this inside and in between these fabric layers so the paint doesn't bleed through. And then I'm going to remove the stencil and place it onto the pillow. And then this fabric paint that I'm using I got from Walmart. It's just black. And then I'm going to use a foam paintbrush to stencil the paint onto our design here. And the paint says to do, you know, as many coats as you need to get the desired look. So I'm at least going to do 2 coats, and then it says let it dry for 4 hours, and then you can wash it after 72 hours. Alright, so here is a close-up of the stenciling, and it's all dry now. So I'm going to take the paper out that we put in there earlier. And like I said in the supplies when I was talking about the stuffing, this is just a cheapy pillow from Walmart, and it's way less expensive to just buy a pillow to use the stuffing from than buy the actual stuffing that you find in the craft section. So I'm going to take some stuffing out of here and we're going to put it inside our pillow here. until we get it as stuffed as we want it. And then I have another piece of the hemming tape. I'm gonna slide this in between our layers here in that opening, like this. And I'm gonna repeat that process of ironing this down. I'm gonna take the paper backing off, iron it again, and that will close up our hole to our pillow, and it'll be ready to use. I loved creating this cute little pillow. It was so simple and it was so easy, and I love the versatility of it. I love that you can create this to say whatever you want, have whatever design you want on the front. You could also change the size to make it fit your space and your home's decor. I hope this tutorial inspired you. Make sure to give it a thumbs up for me. You can also subscribe because I bring you new DIYs and inspiration every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Hit the bell as well so that you get notified when my videos go live. And I will see you all next time. Thanks so much for watching. Bye guys.